Hey guys, this is Belinda with Willow, Birch, and Clover, and this video, I believe, will be the last in our series on finishing up the vintage style junk journal that we're making together. And this is where we stopped last time. If you'll remember, we went from this little pocket belly band construction, we paper clipped onto here, and now you're going to turn over to your next page, and we're going to go right here, and I'm going to show you what you need. All right? The first thing you're going to need is a piece of dot grid paper that is about 9.5 inches long and about 4 3/4 inches wide. And those can be a little bit different if you choose. They don't have to be exactly that. But what we're going to do is fold up, and I folded up, let's see, about 3 inches, okay? I folded up about 3 inches and put my crease there. And now I'm going to reach and get my Fabri-Tac glue, and we're going to make a pocket like we did before with our other little graphed paper floating pocket. And I'm going to glue that down. And for embellishment's sake, I will put a staple on each side to give the illusion that the pocket is closed by staples. It's really glued. Nothing's going to come out, okay? Now, you're going to need this little picture frame, and you're going to need a piece of acetate. I'm going to give you the size first, and don't panic. I'm going to show you something you can use if you don't have acetate, because I know a lot of people don't have that. This is 3.5 inches long by 1 3/4 inches wide. All right. Now, if you have any packaging around your house that is like this clear cellophane, it can be anything, whatever. Folders, office supplies. You may have opened up a pack of some kind of, I don't know, kitchen rags or something, and it came in something with any kind of clear cellophane. That can be cut and used instead of the acetate. But since I had the acetate, that's what I'm going to use. And we're going to go right on the back side here and put a little glue between the circles, right around the edges here of our circles to hold that acetate down. And you're just going to lay it up here and let it catch. You really don't want glue on the top here because we're making a pocket. We don't want to glue it down. Don't want a lot of glue sticking out. So, you know, use your fingers, wipe that off, let that dry for just a second. And then we're going to come right here and glue it down, okay? You can do script stamping on top of this to make it look different, to give it a little different feel. But I'm going to glue on 3 sides, around the bottom and both of the shorter sides, and I'm going to stick it down on my turned up end of my paper there, okay? And inside of this, I stuck the extra Denison tags and the little camera ephemera that's cute to put by any photographs that you may put by your journal. And then you're going to take the last little flower cluster like this, after I fussy cut around it. I kind of turned mine like that to stick it off the corner, put the little bluish color flower up in that top right corner, give it a quick staple. And then, I don't think I went to the top with it. I stayed on the side, but I'm going to use a paper clip. And I had one, but I have no idea what I did with it. So let me grab another one, and we're going to stick this right here. Okay, that's one. Now, flip over. You'll see, we're here, this paper, all right? What you're going to need, we're going to do a pocket assembly on here. And you're going to need, you should have another piece of this. It's going to match this paper. See, in mine, when I cut it 3 inches wide and I lay it up there, it's almost like the flower just continues on, if you can see it. But don't worry if it doesn't line up. That's not necessary. But I'm going to show you a tip. The pocket is going to go here. So we want to tear this edge, all right? So keep your finger on it and turn it upside down. This is the side you'll be tearing. This is the tip I was trying to tell you about yesterday. Now pull it to you, okay? This is going to help you hide that white edge over on the other side there. I'll show you when I flip it over. It's still going to have some white, but it won't be quite as bad as it's been because you're pulling down. See? The white is not exposed. That's the little trick I was talking about yesterday. And we're going to go back and ink on our pocket raw edge there. Okay? I don't think I inked around my edges, so let me do that quickly. It won't take but a second. And it makes all the difference in how a vintage journal looks. And we're going to glue on the back side, the top, the bottom, and the long side that's untorn. My glue, I have a glob of Fabri-Tac at the end of my nozzle, and I'm just trying to work with it. Here we go. Down the long edge and across the bottom. A little more right there. I'll wipe that off in just a second. All right, I come right up to the edge of the paper, and it should be the same length as this piece, okay? I'm putting it down. All right, next, I used a piece of my light fabric, and it is just smaller than that pocket. And I'll tell you how long it is. It is 7.5 inches long, and it is 2.5 inches wide, okay? Now, I'm gonna go directly to my pocket and put this glue, you know how I kind of squiggle. We're gonna lay this up here, and we're only gonna do just a itty bitty bit of a pinch on the fabric there and press it down so that it catches, all right? And then I tore a piece that was 3/4 inches wide, and it's a little longer than that white. It is, it's almost 8. It's just like 2/16 shorter, 14/16. What would that be? I don't know, 7/8? Yeah, 7/8. All right, so I'm gonna come right down the center of my white here, giving it a little squiggle over everything as we go so that my fabric will catch. And it's, I tell you what, I forgot I did scrunch up this white fabric, so it was probably the exact same length as that white fabric before we scrunched it, okay? And when I lay it down, it's gonna extend a little bit past the white. I want it a little more centered. And don't worry, when Fabri-Tac dries, it won't really show through your fabric. All right, now, do you remember this piece? We tore it off of, let me find the decoration so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me come back. This, off of this piece. This was the other half of what was torn off, okay? We're gonna take that and we're gonna glue it down where we want it, right there. Nothing behind it, just straight down. But we're about to do some lace layering, and that really makes it look pretty, okay? Kind of find where you want it, okay? And put it down. Now, I did not have a really large piece of lace left, but I did have 2 pieces. So I'm gonna just put 2 pieces down like this to almost completely cover what we just put down, and it will overhang a little bit on this side. So, glue. And it doesn't matter if all the edges aren't caught on this one. It just allows the lace to move a little bit, and that's a nice look. Do it like that. Okay. And then I have this tag. All right. I cut a piece of string. Let's see if we can find it. I did. And I'm going to show you this trick again. Grab your string and make a loop. Put it through the hole of your tag. Okay. Open the loop up and reach through to grab your strings and pull it tight. You know, don't tear your paper, but pull it snug. And then we're gonna knot it twice. Once. It really won't matter. This tag is not gonna move around anymore, so it probably won't come untied, but I do like to do it. And I'm not gonna snip the strings until after I've done this part, but I'm gonna put glue on the back of my tag. Okay. And then I want my tag to lay at a diagonal, just like this, okay? And my strings, I want them, you know, to have a little movement, so I think I'm gonna leave them about right there. All right, just like that. It's just over 1 inch probably, like that. Now I'm gonna take another baby piece of lace and I'm gonna kind of catty corner it on this tag, like that. And then take your V stamp that comes in the kit and put glue all over the back, and we're gonna glue it down in the center of that lace. And now that pocket assembly is done. And what I put in here was the other half of the coffee stain paper that we tore in the last video. I just fold it in half and it can stick in my pocket. And then I also have this little like glue tag, and there's that pocket assembly. All right, and I'm gluing crazy, but we're gonna keep moving. All right, and we're almost done. Let's see, move this out of my way. Okay, and then I want you to take these 2 pieces of ephemera. It's this piece with the impressos on it and the little sailor ship tag. And I laid them like this. And then come over until you hit your graph paper that's folded there on that page. And clip it on. All right, there's that page. See? Now, when we lift that up, we're to the inside back cover. And on the original journal, I didn't have anything in there. But if you'll remember, on the first embellishing video, I told you that if you've already purchased this kit, the Precious Things kit, I went back and added 2 more pocket pages to it. This is the other pocket assembly, okay? I'm going to center it on this page. So I'm going to take the back side and glue it all over. If you had a wider journal or something that you were using, you know, you could make a belly band out of this too by just gluing the top and the bottom, but I'm not going to make a belly band out of it. So I'm just going to glue it down. I want to get this piece down first, kind of centered where I want it, and just press. And then you will find this piece with the rose. And I'm going to go 3 sides, just not across that top. And I'm going to glue it to the bottom there. And then there's this little piece, and I'm going to do the same thing, gluing on 3 sides. Across the bottom and my 2 short sides, and voila. Now we have a pocket assembly. Well, come up a little bit because there it's a little bit smaller. What's under it? There. Okay. There, and there is where you can put pretties. Okay. Now, the front cover. So we're all the way through with the embellishing, and we're going to work on the front cover. Let me get what we need for that. I've got it in a stack over here out of the way. You're going to need a piece of, I used the brown craft cardstock. If you don't have any brown craft cardstock, you can use some of the printed cardstock papers from the kit, like if you have any of the green left or any of the brown or any of the colors that were printed on cardstock, if you want to use on front. I just used brown cardstock because I had some. And I'm going to measure this for you. It is 3 inches wide, and it is 8.5 inches long, okay? We're going to make a belly band out of this. So when we glue this down, we're only gluing top and bottom. But I think I'm going to assemble it before I glue it down. So just lay your craft cardstock down, and you're going to need a piece of fabric that is slightly longer. So I would say like 9.5 inches. And it is 2 and probably close to 3/4 inches wide. Just do 2.5 will be fine. And I want my ends sticking out evenly above the top and the bottom because we are going to do some of that scrunching with this fabric, okay? And I'm just going to kind of do light glue this time. I don't want it goppy to soak through my fabric. Just enough to grab it. And strings, of course. I'm going to lay this down, like I said, kind of centering my strip since it's a little bit longer than the cardstock under it, and do a little bit of the pinching. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I want my ends to kind of stop right there at the ends of the strip. So just like that is good. All right, and then I have kind of a large piece of lace because it's going to overhang both sides of this belly band. My measurements on this are about, it doesn't have to be perfect, which is why I say about, almost 4.5, not quite, like one little tick under there. And this is 6 3/4 inches long. And I'm going to take, let's see, I want to look at my other book to make sure I'm still moving right. Yeah, I want to take a little glue and do some little, this kind of daubing all over it to grab this lace, because you know lace is kind of hard to grab. And I'm going to lay my lace on top of that, and I'm going to gently kind of ruche my lace in. Can you see what I'm doing? Just gently pulling it to the center kind of as I ruche to make it not quite extend out quite so far beyond the band, but I still want it out a little bit on the sides. And if you see that you don't have glue somewhere you need it, like me, just go back and add it. Okay. Okay, I like that. Now, I cut, the only thing I had to make another copy of, other than what I gave you in our paper selection video, was this piece of paper. Remember, it's the one with the little green girl, and it had this over here with her in the corner, okay? So I cut this off. I took off just a little bit of the tag. It is 3 inches wide. It's as wide as our band. And my length, I cut at about 5.5 inches down. So this was at the top. So 3 inches wide, 5.5 inches down, and that will give you this cut. This is going to be your center medallion on your belly band for the front cover. So again, glue everywhere on this one because I really want it to hold down. Okay. I'm going to get right in the center of this, and I'm going to push down. Now, since I have already ruched my lace under there, if I have any little pieces extending farther than I want them, I'm just going to snip. I might come up a little bit right there. Because I can't ruche my lace anymore, I've put my center piece down. That's pretty much, it is what it is at this point, you know? So, just a hair right there. I like that. All right, now get your book. And again, we're going to go top and bottom with the glue to make a belly band. I put a good bit because it is the cover. Okay. And I'm lining it up in the center of the book, and I'm making sure my belly band is hitting top and bottom. Okay. And we're going to press down. And then for decorations, you printed on copy paper a piece of the front to back model paper. I folded mine in half, and then I cut it down where it was 6.5 inches long and 4.5 inches wide. And then that one piece of graph paper that you have left over, I cut a piece of it off that was, I think this is the original width. I didn't cut it down. It is. This is 8.5. And then, but the height is 4 3/4, and I folded that in half, just like that. And I'm going to take this paper and stack this on top. I think on my original book I used a piece of graph paper, but somewhere along the way I've misplaced my extra piece of graph paper. And I slide that under my cover just like that, and voila. Now, let me tie this up for you, and you will see that we now have our finished journal. You are done. That's it. Start to finish. We decorated. We made our hinges. We made our pages. We hinged everything together. We decorated. And now we have a completed journal that you can give for Mother's Day, keep for yourself. And this one even has the front and back cover additional embellishments that I did not include on the original one that I showed. And you can stack you some paper and tags in there. But I think it's just beautiful, and I'm very proud of it. I hope that you are too. It's easy, beginner friendly, and I'm so happy that you stuck with me and we got through this. If you finish a journal and would like to send me some pictures through, you know, post some on my channel, or email me some, you can email me some to willowbirchandclover@gmail.com. I'd love to see them. I'm so excited about this. I hope you are too, and I had so much fun. And you're going to be pulling strings for a little bit. But now imagine if it's beautiful like this, but for those of you, like I said, that have the tools. Oh, we didn't do the buttons on the spine, but I'm going to leave that to you. That's, all I did, folks, was I picked out 2 buttons, ran some embroidery thread through it. I left all 6 strings, knotted it and cut it, and I glued them on my spine right there. And that's it. That's your book. I hope that you're pleased with it, and I'd love to hear any comments that you may have down below. Thanks for watching, and thanks for joining in on the series. Have a good one.